What keeps me inspired as an educator is I have the luxury of being at a small school where I get to see these kids as ninth graders and then to see them just grow year after year after year to these vibrant seniors that are going off into the real world and doing real, going off to college and schools. And it's just amazing to see how much they've grown from their ninth grade year to the 12th grade year.
The thing that keeps me most inspired as an educator is continuing my own growth and learning journey. I think one of the big things about being a teacher is that we just never stop learning and growing. I always am seeking out new bits of knowledge, varied perspectives, and trying to really intentionally pick out those little spots of joy throughout my classroom and throughout my day. And by doing that, it really helps me keep my spark alive. So being that learner and grower all the time is just what keeps me inspired as an educator.
What inspires me most are my students. For example, I had a senior football player that's been in my class a couple of times, and he asked me to wear his jersey for senior night. He also wrote me a really sweet card and talked about positivity and how I was always standing at the door, smiling and greeting them when they come in. And he said that my positivity in class about everything always gave him perseverance throughout the year. I have a million of stories like that, and that's what inspires me.
I think what I'm most passionate about as an educator is bringing my love for my subject area to my students. As an American history teacher, it's so important for my students to see the good, the bad, and the ugly that have happened through American history, and watching them make connections from the things that have happened in the 1700s to things that are happening present day is so important and so amazing for me to see them make those connections. Watching them and seeing them become these active civic participants and becoming these grown adults who are going to make a difference in the world is so incredible to me, and probably why I'm most passionate, what makes me most passionate as an educator.
As an educator, I'm most passionate about making sure that every student that comes through my doors is seen.
The thing I'm most passionate about as an educator is really creating those relationships with each student. I have a little bit more of a unique job being the dance teacher, so I get these students moving around, feeling silly, being fun. So creating those relationships, that's feeling safe when they come in the studio and letting down their guard, and that is what I'm most passionate about, creating that safe space at school.
So I've taught everything from kindergarten through college seniors, and what keeps me inspired as an educator is the students. I love seeing the different development stages. I have the distinct privilege of being a librarian, so I get to see all the kids all the time, and that's just a wonderful thing to see, to build those relationships with them in new ways, to provide spaces for them to find out who they are, what they enjoy, that passion that they develop, and I get to witness all of that for everybody, and that keeps me inspired and keeps me coming in every single day.
What keeps me inspired as an educator is student voice, empowering students to take ownership of their own education and see the value in learning, not just the academics, but the real world skills and the things that will take them farther into life.
What I'm most passionate about as an educator is that making sure the students in my class, those especially that have math anxiety and math stress, and math trauma, have a really safe place to learn math. So many students grow up with a bad taste in their mouth about math, or think that they're bad at math, and I wanted them to start to see the beauty in math and be inspired by the math around them so that they can start to see the mathematician inside of them.